Hey everybody, and a very good morning to you wherever you are around the world. Of course, your host Superman here at Hex Token Channel, and we are in New Zealand, broadcasting from the future. So I hope you guys enjoy the show. We've got obviously we've got the prices are very pulled back again. So we're still in this price discovery phase, still able to pick up even more volume today than ever from the looks of it. So really cool to be early, isn't it? Really cool to be early on a layer one chain like Pulsechain. Now, the other good news, of course, Pulsechain's ecosystem is expanding. We're going to cover some of the projects at the moment that are going on, but also we got all the big ones still yet to come. So it's going to be a lot of fun. The big DeFi and the big NFT marketplaces. It's going to be a lot of fun, folks. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's get everything up and running. And of course, let's see who's in the chat there. I actually might change my layout a little bit moving forward. So we might see some changes in the old format. So in terms of the UI, as we say, user interface or something like that. I don't know what they say, but it's good to see everybody. We've got Lights Beneath in the house there at the moment. How are you today? Very good. And I'm not sure why that's not showing up on the old studio. Maybe because I've got something else open up there. Let me close that down. Give myself a little bit of more juice. There we are. How are you today? Lives Beneath, good to see you. And of course, the alternate strategy is the Rich Heart strategy. And at the moment, it's on sale, which is cool. We're in the second month of the launch of Pulsechain. And I think we're on day 33, maybe 34, somewhere in like that. Hello, all. Hex, EHEX, PLS, and PLSX incentive token for the win, 100%. What else do we got? Crypto King in the house. Hey, Superman, still awake here in Thailand. Been up all night, DCA and across the board. I bet you're loving these low prices. I bet you are. Gonna try to catch a live show if I don't fall asleep. Well, Crypto King has been killing it on the DCA lately, and these prices been a bit of a godsend. So very, very cool. Harry Williams in the house there. Yo, yo, yo. Good to see Harry. We got Sandy Beach in the house too. Good to see Sandy Beach. Joey Torres, hi Joey. Hey, actually, Sandy, I just realized that I retweeted one of your health tweets again today. So definitely get out there and support Sandy Beach. Doing great job on Twitter and loving these health routines that she's putting up there for everybody. Katie in the house there. Hello, everybody. Good to see you, Superman. Always good to see Katie. Katie, one of our two community leaders in the chat. So good to see you. Crypto Compassion's in the house. Lots of love to Sandy. Yeah, got the old Sandy Beach there. And Gal's in the house. Yo, yo, yo. Good to see a Gal. Who else has jumped in here? We got DJ in the house there. Good morning to you. Destroyer says, I'm stacking PulseX hard. Yeah, PulseX is looking particularly tasty. And the other day I did a calculation that I thought it was 80% more favorable than Pulsechain, given the price versus the supply, public supply. So that is pretty cool. Well done. Bargain hunting out there says Crypto Dan 100%. John Pikes and Elsa, good morning, Steve man. Good morning to you. What else there? I think it's day 33, says Sandy. Yeah, I'll try and check that out. We're going to check it out when we get up to the prices. All I do is DCA, says Crypto King. Well, it's the you're doing it at the perfect time. You guys know how these charts look. So very, very good. Well played. I'm here still up to in Thailand. Big shout out to you. Thank you to Hex Token from Sandy Beach. We've got Wookie in the house as well. Let's see here. My studio is a little bit slow this morning. Not sure what's driving that. But we got Wookie is in the house there. Wookie is jumping on the dump. See, I've clicked on this comment, but it's not showing up on the studio. I'm not sure what's happening there. I've definitely closed down some stuff. So, yeah, we'll see how we get on. All right. What else we got there? We got Brazology in the house there. Is that going to show up? Yeah. It did. Nice one there, Briz. Your comment showed up. How about that? We got Richie Robinson. Good morning, evening, or night. Yeah, depending where you are around the world. That's what happens when we've got an intergalactic audience. Intergalactic. Who else there? We got someone else jump in there. Charity Dunning. Good to see you as well. Welcome to the chat there. And Archipelago snuck in at the end there too. Hi all. All right. We're going to get into the news. So let's get into. Obviously, the Federal Reserve came out overnight. I think Rags Richards did a live stream on that too earlier in the day because it's perfectly timed for him, not for myself. but there we are. And we got the news here from the Fed. So the Fed now sees a terminal rate or peak rate of 5.6%. No, that's not what we want. I think that's overkill. That is going to really hurt the US economy if they try to take the interest rates up to there. That is really, really bad. Anyway, 5.6% at the midpoint in 2023, up from a prior forecast of 5.1% seen in March, suggesting 2 more hikes remain in play. Now, hey, look, they may just very well be giving themselves a bit of headroom in the future. Apart from that, I really think it's got to be unlikely, right? So we'll see. Anyway, some of the commentary here from Pantheon Macroeconomics says, for now, though, this is a more hawkish pause than we expected. So they didn't do any rate rise today. They didn't do any rate rise. So we're still sitting at 5.25%. But they've got this forecast rate in there of 5.6. So we'll see. We'll see whether they actually get there or not. But if they do, that's really painful. That's going to be really painful for the US. Even at 5.1, it's starting to hurt people, particularly their property and all that sort of stuff. 5.6 is going to take it to that next level. Suggesting that the Fed isn't likely to have a clearer view on the economy by July meeting, as incoming data will be sparse. There's not going to be much data coming into the July meeting, right? So that's the issue there. Only one round of inflation and labor market data will be released between now and the July meeting, and the unreliability of the monthly numbers means that policy decisions, in our view, should not be determined by such short runs. Yeah, not looking great, but the market was, a bit of mixed in the market after 2 days of strong movements, but mixed in there at the moment. So that leads us into trading economics. Trading economics got a nice little update here. We can see the chart down below here. This is the interest rate rise. Pretty aggressive, right? The most aggressive all time. And of course, we can see here we've just had a pause. So we are paused at 5.25 on the federal funds rate there. But they're trying to take it up a little bit higher, up to about here. So hopefully they don't make it. The Fed left the target for the federal funds rate unchanged at 5 to 5.25% as expected, but signaled rates may go to 5.6 by end year if the economy. So there's a big if here. If the economy and inflation do not slow down more, it is the first pause in the tightening campaign following 10 consecutive rate hikes that lifted borrowing costs to the highest level since September 2007. 2007, policymakers said that the holding the target range steady allows them to assess additional information. But as we pointed out, there's not that much coming, and as implications for the monetary policy. But noted that they would be prepared to adjust it if risks emerged that could impede the attainment of their goal. The funds rate is now seen higher at 5.6% this year compared to 5.1 projected in March. So their predictions in March that they had. Upward revisions were also made for 2024. So they're looking at 4.6 versus 4.3. So they're telling us at this stage, based on their predictions, which can be classically wrong, that we're going to be in a higher interest rate environment for a longer period of time. That's what they're trying to say here. Now, it's just a projection, just modeling, and typically they're very wrong. 2025, 3.4% versus 3.1% on the federal funds rate. The GDP is seen rising 1% this year, higher than the 0.4% in March. So they're getting more bullish on the GDP, while growth for both 2024 and 2025 was revised lower. So they're expecting pretty modest growth, 1.1% 24, 1.8% in 25. Now, this is the one that really is of interest here. The PCE inflation. Remember, this is the version rather than the CPI. The CPE is what the Fed's really looking at. And of course, they've got the inflation for this year is seen as a 3.2%, below 3.3% March projection. So we are getting down with the inflation rate at the moment. So that's kind of cool there. What else we're going to have a look on there? I think we're going to go to United States, have a quick look at the prices. And you can see where are we up here? We've got the inflation rate at 4% at the moment. And last time it was 4.9. So it's heading in the right direction, the inflation rates. So let's have a look at that on the old chart there. Hopefully we'll have that. So, the rate is, remember, we peaked out last year, remember? What was it, June last year at 9.1%? So it is going in the right direction. So what the heck do they want to raise it up to 5.6%? They're forecasting some sort of a rebound here in the inflation. It's down to 4%. So it's, trend is your friend. That's what, the Fed chairman said they were looking for as the trend. It's definitely been trending down. Now, obviously, we had a bit of a pause here but we had a pretty decent rise down 4%. So heading in the right direction there at the moment. All right, so that is pretty much the Fed stuff at the moment. So hopefully that's been of interest to you. But so what has that done to the market, crypto? Well, BTC's come down a few percentage points there. 25,113, down almost 3%. Ether is at 1651, down almost 5%. So that's a bit of a chunk on the old Ether. I think we were at 1750 yesterday with me. BNB had actually rocketed yesterday. That's down 2% at $237. XRP, they're getting the brunt of it, down 7.6%. Now, I think XRP is in court still, so that's some of interest there too. What else are we talking about there? I think that's kind of some of the highlights there. All right. Yeah, I think that's some of the cool stuff there. All right, so that is the crypto market at the moment. Leads us on into Pulsechain, Pulsechains, and Archipelago there in the house. Archipelago in the house. We got Pulse there is down, man. DCA, man. Obviously, this is even cheaper than normal. We got Pulse there at quadruple 0784, down 7.6%. So we did have a bit of a reprieve yesterday. And I did talk about the third chance of a third wave down, but I didn't want to jinx it, so I didn't want to talk about it too much. But in any case, it means that you can buy more volume at the moment. We got more volume at the moment. We got the price of Pulse at the moment is 0.78 of the sacrifice price. So there are 78% of the sacrifice price is the Pulse price at the moment, and we've got 134 billion burn. So I talked about this. We're going to hit this target 134. We have finally hit it. What does that mean? That means that the validators, the Pulsechain team validators, those 4,096 of them, the ones that started the Pulsechain, have withdrawn and all their pulse has been burned. So that is now complete. And we can see that's awesome, right? Now, where did they get that pulse from? So is that really part of the public supply? Probably not, is my guess. But at the moment, that's included. So we'll see. I'd like that to be clarified. That'd be pretty cool. But anyway, we've got 134 billion is burned, suggesting that there's close to 0.9% has been burned so far. All right, so that is the Pulse price there. So looking good. And that looks on the bottom end of the price at the moment. So you're really getting the bottom at the moment of Pulse there at this stage. Now, Pulse X at the moment, quadruple 0307. This is down almost 10% at the moment. And of course, that is only almost 31% of the sacrifice price. So that there seems like if you look at the public supply of both of them, you look at the burn, and you know the burn of the Pulse X is super big ongoing. This is kind of like a one-hit event, and of course, it does get burned with the EIP 1559. But you know, with the validators going out, that's a one-off event. But it's awesome to get the big burn there. In any case, we've got Pulse X, which is going to have pretty big buy and burn, and of course, at the moment, price versus the supply, public supply, that definitely looks like the favored one in my view, with the old Pulse X. Now, obviously, Pulse X faces a little bit of competition from new dexes, so you could argue that, but this is really the behemoth out in the market. All right, what else there? This has the big farms with the big incentives and all that sort of stuff. The incentive here is token is at I want to say one more thing. The ratio has gone up. So actually, even though I said Pulse X looks like the better buy, it's even truer in the sense that the ratio from Pulse to Pulse X has gone up. So one Pulse will get you 2.57 at the moment. I think yesterday we were sitting at 2.51, if I remember rightly. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that was the case. Incentive token at the moment down 12.4%. And I ignored the US dollar prices, but it's $10.90. Obviously coming down with the Pulse price there. But it's the ratio that we look at, right? So the ratio now is dropped down a bit further, down to 138,260 Pulse. So it looks like it's lost its sort of support. We'll look at that in the charts later on, but that's kind of where we are at the moment. Now, total supply of incentive token, 2.8 million. Remember that started off at 0 and has been minted out through the farms at this stage. Now, those farms are probably going to look attractive all the way down in terms of percentages, down to like 5% or something. They're going to be, probably for US dollars and stables, they'll keep looking quite attractive compared to, say, Aave or something like that, if you know what I mean. Hex at the moment is currently at 0.104 cents, and that's actually probably kind of relatively the best performer holding up, relatively speaking, from where we can tell, down 4.5%. If we include EHEX, we're sitting at 1.73 cents on that at the moment. And so the relativity favoring Hex to some degree here at the moment. Kind of cool. That is the summary there for the prices. So we'll quick look at the validators and see where we are here. So we've got 609.7 billion is currently staked. So that's huge. You add that with the burn, and that's pretty attractive, right? So the burn's pretty massive. 134 plus 609. That's a big deal, right? So that makes a huge number there. Let's take that number. So 609 plus 134. That's 743, and we just divide that by the 15 trillion. So divide by 15. Oh, let me redo it there. 15, 1, 2, 3, 15,000. That's 4.95. So almost 5% is our Pulse is sunk now out of the public supply. If you decide to include the team's wallet there, and if assuming that it is part of the supply there, which I don't think it is. But in any case, that is the upward number at the moment. What else? We've got the validators down here. So we've got 9,054. Looks like we've got 11 entering, which is kind of cool. So this is a really good opportunity to get into this. If you don't mind managing hardware and the responsibilities of being a validator, then 23.8% is the APR. Very, very nice. And you just keep accumulating Pulse all through the market cycles. Very, very cool on that. So we're looking really good. And on an annual basis too. So you can think about that. Anyway, 1954. So I guess we've had a few more come in. I was expecting that to get down to about 18,600. We'll see whether that does adjust tomorrow. But at the moment, it's saying 19,054. So maybe even though we've had nothing saying that we're entering on here, maybe some have been entering. So I don't know, the market's that's where it is at the stage. So we'll see what that number looks like tomorrow. So I think that's the highlights there. The gas, of course, being really, really cheap. And Richard Hart, of course, tweeted out yesterday about how cheap the gas prices. 228 times cheaper than Ethereum, 139 times cheaper than Bitcoin. That's pretty cool. And of course, the first system state fork of Ethereum, so it's a big deal. 4 cents to do a Pulsechain swap at the moment, less than 1 cent to transfer Pulse, and it's indicating here 1 cent for a PRC20. Now, whether it actually is that cheap when you go to do it in the wallet, let us know. All right, so that is kind of the highlights. Let's jump over to the farms at the moment. The farms on Pulsex. Let's see if we've got anything here new. Nothing is new. So this is all the existing farms. So we've got Pulsex Pulse at the moment, 32%. Probably the most conservative one there if you don't care too much about the ratios. Obviously, they're moving around. We can see it's up to 2.57 now on Pulsex. So depending on where you get in, depends on what the impairment loss will be. But relative to the APR, it's just ticking over and you're earning that nice sweet incentive token LP. That being said, of course, the LP has gone down in terms of the Pulse ratio. What else there? We've got DAI. So these are the ones that we really want to have over on the chain. We're attracting this capital. So we've got DAI, USDC, Wrapped ETH, and USDC. Those are all looking very attractive. Those APRs still looking very, very attractive indeed. So that's pretty cool. We've got Hex Wrapped Pulse looking good too, still 110%. Then we've got the 2 incentive farms. Obviously, if you're making a lot more incentive tokens, you need to put them somewhere. And they have gone in here, and they're still earning very good ratios at the moment. So they're all ticking over pretty nice. Finally, Wrapped Bitcoin, obviously like ETH up here, the ETH here. Wrapped Bitcoin there with Pulse looks looking very, very good, 227%. So the farm's still looking very attractive. That's on V1, of course. And remember, if you provide liquidity on V1, then all the fees go to the buy and burn. And of course, that just keeps ticking over as well. Now on V2, if you want to provide liquidity, particularly for liquidity that's not in the farms, then you will earn the fees providing liquidity. So if you're going to want to provide liquidity and earn the fees, then you need to go to V2. And of course, you can hit liquidity and add liquidity. When you do add liquidity, it's going to have a little notice down the bottom saying that you're going to earn 0.2% of all the trades. You want to see some of the APY on those, you just go to Info tab and you can have a look down at some of the pools, and you'll be able to see some of the fees that are earned on these. So maybe you want to go to Beetroot, which has been performing very well, and you can go down and have a look at the Beetroot peers and have a look at the LP rewards that are going through there at the moment. Obviously, they're having a pretty high turnover popularity, so they're probably going to be to the upside. So yeah, it seems to be turning over pretty well. All right, so that is the farms. Now, we don't have limit orders yet. We don't have the DAO, and we don't have one-sided staking pools. Obviously, everyone keeps talking about that. When one-sided staking pools, and one-sided staking pools, oh, they're not there yet. So, yeah, get into it. All right, so that is kind of cool. That is the Pulsechain overview. We're going to get into the projects next. So we're talking about Pulsechain's ecosystem expanding. We're going to talk about some of the projects that have already launched that are part of that early expansion, because remember, this is going to be taking, probably at least 3 months for the big ones to come out, and probably 6 months by the time we get, a lot of the top TVL. Everything that's on Ethereum will be, I would suggest within 6 months, we'll have everything on Pulsechain. That's large, valued up pretty largely there. If not, then there's an opportunity for a big team to pull in some of the remaining big TVL projects on Ethereum over to Pulsechain. So they better get onto it. Like, I think we're talking about things like, Rocket Pool and Lido and things like that. So those are the sort of things we want to see over on the chain. All right, let's get into some of the comments. See who else. We've got 66 people in the house. So welcome, everybody. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button, hit the bell as well, hit the like button. We've got a poll at the moment. We've got 45 votes, so get into the poll. Are you buying at the moment with these lower prices? Yes, maybe, or no. So we're going to a pretty simple poll today. I didn't make it too difficult. So get in there on that. What else? Let's see here. Now I'd go through Richard's updates, but Richard hasn't really had any updates that we haven't already talked about. So we will check on Richard's tweets at the end of the live stream, just in case he makes any comments. What else there? Let's jump into some of these. We got up to Acapello Go, didn't we? We got Richard Levin says, "What happened to the floor is lava?" Yeah, I don't know. Nothing from Richard today. It looks like the Bitcoin market is tanking. The Pulsechain, probably because of the bonded liquidity at the farms. Probably due to that. Risk off too, because risk off is a bigger feature than Hart's Law. There's Hart's Law, then there's risk off. Risk off's at the top. So yeah. We got good evening, Suitman. Good evening, everybody from Check My Pulse. Always a pleasure. We got Hexcavator as well. What's up, folks? Good to see you as well in the house. Truth Toshi. How do we get images on the copied over coins like Pepe? How do we images? Maybe jump into our Discord about that. Our Discord links in the video description. Don't know how long it takes for those to show up on those. Some of them show up and some of them don't. What else? I guess teams have to advocate for them too, is probably what happens there. Where else we got going? Tim Top's in the house there. What's up? Good to see you, Tim Top. Charity says, when to stop DCAing? At the moment, no. Normally, it's for months and months. You could, particularly first 6 months, you could DCA. Whenever you see a nice little profile, it's good to DCA, and obviously not financial advice, but when you see normally these projects launch, particularly in the grayish, bearish conditions, market conditions that we're in at the moment, then DCA is typically the way to play it. What else for that period of time? What else? Truth there. We jumped through some of that. Astrid is in the house. Say good to see Astrid. Magnus there too. Hey, Superman. Good to see you, Magnus. We got Humberto Gonzalez as well. Yo, cheers, family from sunny Miami, crypto capital of the world. Always a pleasure, Humberto. Just relax and take it easy. Yeah, that's true too. Just relax, take it easy. DCA. All right, let's get into the project teams. So the Pulsechain ecosystem has been expanding, and we've got a list of those here. And we've actually had some green ones sometimes. The only one that's green today is Internet Money. Ho, 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 which is pretty funny. We got Internet Money, and of course, here there's Internet Money here. Some people in my Discord have been putting in Internet Money, saying, hey, encourage people to download Internet Money. Well, here we are. You spoke, and I listened. And of course, Internet Money Wallet is out and about, and apparently they just got ranked at number 1 on the ranking system. Now, Golkey, we talked about this yesterday, right? Golkey put up a tool, Pulsechain tool called Pulse Rank, where people could vote for their favorite coins. And looks like time from Internet Money got up really high. So, well, hopefully that translates into people actually downloading the wallet as well and actually using it for swapping fees, because that way, people are going to get nice dividends in the wallet instead of MetaMask getting all the dividends when people are using, expensive expensive swapping fees. Download Internet Money, and of course now it is in final beta, so you do have to take care there, and you could use it own leisure, and probably not put all your bags in there at this stage. It's up to you what you do, but yeah, that is Internet Money wallet is up and running now. I'm not sure when they're going to finally go to their final confirmation, but that is up at the moment. So this is IM, of course. This is not their time. So time is the one that you need to buy to hold to get the dividends on each chain. So you need the time token on Pulsechain to get the Pulse dividend. You need time on the ETH chain to get the ETH dividend, etc., and on BNB. So I think there's 3 chains at the moment, but they're going to have multiple EVM chains eventually. Now you can see time is actually number 3 here, and it's currently down 2% on time. But their Internet Money, sort of their meme coin, I guess it is. I'm not sure what they consider this to be, but this is $18,000 liquidity, so it's got small liquidity, but it's having a nice little pump day today. So someone's decided to buy into that from the looks of it. So that's Internet Money. Now, obviously, we're looking at, so that's a wallet. Now, obviously, there's talks of Richard Hart's wallet, of course. He said that he had probably 1 or 2 devs working on that, so we're waiting to see when Richard will unload that wallet in the future. But in any case, Internet Money is already here and has got a pretty great setup on the Internet Money wallet. We'll probably talk more about that in the future too. Right, us. We've got the Coast team. So the Coast team, we talked about this yesterday. They have going to bring the fiat on-ramp, and of course, this is fundamental to Richard Hart's vision, is having vertical integration, and that means having we're already getting more bridges coming over to Pulsechain, and that's just going to continue to grow, especially when we get Power City's Portal X upgrade for Pulsechain, and of course multi-chain also supporting that as well. So we've got more big things happening in the crypto to crypto space cross chain, but of course we want more to happen with the fiat. We want the fiat on ramp. We want to be able to just go straight to Pulsechain from US dollars into fiat, and of course Coast is doing that. So really great. Instead of having to go back over the bridge over to Ethereum and over another place, something like that, you can just go straight from your bank account to Pulsechain and via the intermediary, the banking intermediary. So Coast here, we've been working hard to bring vertical integration to Pulsechain. Thanks for your support. Aiming to launch the beta version of our fiat on-ramp tomorrow, which is today. So hopefully we'll get that soon in the next, who knows how many hours. But that's got to come out, and yeah, it's going to be cool. On-ramp, off-ramp, fiat on-ramp. Targeting the US first. Most states, not all states, I believe. Most states. And of course, then I think they're going to UK and then Australia, somewhere like that. And then they're going to spread around the world. It's more to do with regulatory movements there. So yeah, they're going to spread out, and that's going to be pretty bullish. They're also going to have their own tokens. Obviously, the weight token. They've got 2 other tokens as well, and I think they're doing something with the Hex and their tokenomics as well. If you hold Hex in there, and they may even have a Hex burn. I think Internet Money is also possibly going to have some sort of Hex burn or Hex feature as well. So you can see the Coast one down here is down 14% at the moment. But hey, look, this might very well rally. This might have a bit of a rally. It's only got small liquidity in this particular pair. So got a couple of pairs here. You've got this one here, V2, that's got 4. They've got pretty small liquidity at the moment. But these ones here will probably have some sort of rally later on, is my guess. Although there's not a lot of liquidity in these pairs. So we'll see what happens there with the Coast team. But excited, functionality, big deal for Pulsechain. And having that direct on-ramp is going to be awesome, especially with some of the issues that we've had around the SEC and all that sort of stuff, trying to take out the banking providers to the crypto. All right, that leads us into, of course, a Beat as well. So we've just talked about the wallet, we've just talked about a fiat on-ramp coming. So that's coming, and of course, Beetroot Privacy Hub, that is performing really well. So we've got our own privacy as well. So that's really cool. Now, Richard also is going to be bringing something around privacy that's on his roadmap. So we're going to have plenty of good stuff around here. At the moment, of course, Beat happens to be the worst performer today, but it has been the best performer over the last 3, 4, 5 days or something. Let's have a look here since it launched. Let's go to the daily. So yeah, here it is. So we had a really good launch here, and of course we were waiting for this, right? So this is waiting for this pullback here. So we got all the way up to 00081, 00081. So that was pretty good. And then of course we were waiting for the sell-off, right? So because people did sacrifice for it, and it's well above sacrifice price. So there's so much money there on the table that people couldn't resist. And of course, this is what happens. It gets sold into. But we're currently at 0000434, and we'll be watching this project very, very closely. But of course, Beetroot has been doing some cool stuff here. Now, the big news around Beetroot Privacy Hub is great news. The Beat LP, so their liquidity providing, is now all locked. So they've actually provided more liquidity. And this is what we want to see with some of these teams. We want to see them provide decent liquidity as well, rather than just the market providing liquidity. And so having locked liquidity is a really good positive sign. Now, they can ramp it up. Like if you want to ramp it up, we heard Jeff Kadakis talk about Trust Swap, ramping up their liquidity subject to demand. So I'm not sure how he will play that, of course, depending on your view on that. But on Beat here, they have locked away the LP, which is a really good sign. The lock can be seen at the link below. The top three locks are Beat, Pulse, 25% for 2 months, 25% for 3 months, and 50% for a year on that. So that's actually a really, really good sign. So kind of cool. Retweet that. So very cool. Impossible to rug the LP. So what does this mean in simple words? Impossible to rug the LP. So that is pretty good. I like that. So that's a really strong sign. And so that bodes well for the longer period. Now you can see the liquidity is actually pretty decent for a new project launch. So it's at 288,000 in liquidity. So nice start there from Beat there on that. And now they've got locked liquidity, you can see as well. So that's kind of cool. Now we'll post the link to this in the chat there in case you want to go see that. Bam. All right, that is a Beetroot Privacy Hub. So looking good there. So looking pretty good on here. So if we look at some of these ones here, we've got Internet Money. We've got, I promised you guys yesterday I was going to talk about, so we talked about Internet Money with the IM and the time token. I was going to talk to you about Pulse Kittens. We're going to do that. And I've already just talked about Beef there. So I'm going to jump out of there. So Pulse Kittens. Pulse Kittens here. Now, obviously, these guys are running up here. They're kind of a DeFi NFT from what I can tell. And so, yeah, they're sort of, if you like kittens as well, they might be something for you. It is a boutique project. Let's have a look at their liquidity. Did I have Pulse Kittens up here? Liquidity is pretty small, though. This is like real small retail pleb stuff at the moment. And the liquidity is at $4,200. So extremely small. But it's a cute little project, is the way I'd describe it, and they do have a yield on there as well. So here they've had 141 minted Pulse Kittens so far. They did have an airdrop as well, so you may be eligible for that. I'm not sure if that's closed off or not. But they got Pulse Kitten here 1, Pulse Kitten number 2, and they got the yield 19%, 90%. This one here is Pulse Kitten 4. It's only got a yield of 11%. So there's different kittens in here with different yields. This one here is Pulse Kitten number 7. Got 23% in here at the moment. So that's kind of cool. And obviously you can buy Pulse Kittens, I believe. And you can boost your yield. Pulse Kitten daily yield. So I think if you heard your Pulse Kittens, you can increase your yield based on what this is saying. So I don't know if they have a white paper, but that's kind of the play. Now the mint Pulse Kitten. Pulse Kittens provide additional yield when herding Pulse Kitten. Current price 832 million Pulse Kittens. And this next price drop is 26 minutes. So there seems to be a bit of tokenomics around that. So yeah, let me know in the chat there if you're actually participating in this project. So I've always just pulled this project up every now and then, but never really deep dive too much into it. But that is the way it looks at the moment based on my reading of that. So kind of cool. So it's a little baby project, but you never know if sometimes these things may roar instead of meow. Maybe it's meowing at the moment. Maybe it will roar in the future. All right, enough little puns there with the Pulse Kittens. But at the moment, that is, so it's got a pretty not great looking chart at the moment. So will it find a bottom here? So this seems to be around this price for a couple of days now. At was it 508154? Only a little bit of liquidity there. maybe it's worth $100, $100 little pleb there. Who knows what happened there. So anyway, that's going along there as well. We have all sorts of sizes of projects on there. Now, moving away from the team projects in a second, but we've got Fiat in here at the moment. We're waiting for that to launch on Pulsechain. That's a fork of Aave. They're currently launched on Ethereum. I think they have about $1 million liquidity on the Ethereum side. We're waiting for that to launch on Pulsechain. We've got Texan token, which is the first endowment token. That's down 13%. Now, that got the pump. They pumped the heck out of that yesterday, the old Texan token. They got pumped. Look at that yesterday. Look at that. Got pumped big time. So Beetroot was doing pretty well. Texan token was doing pretty well. And, of course, then it got sold off a little bit there. Looks like it's trying to gain some more support. Now, liquidity in this, pretty modest, pretty small too, 25K. Probably on the low side if you think about Texan token being the first endowment. So I'm a bit surprised at the liquidity size of the Texan token pool. So yeah, that's pretty interesting at the moment. Now the other one, of course, is we're going to talk about Pulse Punks quickly. There's a little bit of a we'll talk about Pulse Punks last actually. We've got Daytona, yeah, Daytona. So Daytona, we talked about this a bit yesterday, and of course they are doing a bit like a DEX, isn't it, with some incentives. I think that's basically the idea. And Tony there is ticking away there. They've got pretty decent liquidity too, 99,000. So that's not bad for a small project that's launching. What's the other one here? They've got another one here, 121,000 for Pulse. So it looks like they got $220,000, which puts them up at the same level as Beefy there. And they seem to be ticking over as well. They haven't really they had their first strong run already. And maybe they'll get a second stronger run later on, but they're down 16% at the moment. And liquidity 121. Now, I haven't really checked the contract of this, so for this one here, you might want to check with Pulse Police on Discord, not on Discord, on Telegram, the Pulse Police, and see whether this contract has been cleared. Because when you get stuff like this, you want to know that if you're putting your funds into a pool, that there's no way of that being rugged. So they have nice little incentives here. I don't really know the team either, but they have staking on the pool. So if we go to here, they have these staking farms. Let me know in the chat if you are familiar with this project and whether they've had testing, but you definitely want to check with the Pulse Police. Obviously, the farms look pretty good. It is the whole thing, you've got to make sure. Looks pretty standard here. So we got a little bit of, really nice yields on here. Tony versus USDC, Tony versus Pulse. We got more token here from Trayvon, Zen from Jack Levin here, and of course, is the Pulsechain version. Presumably, this is the new contract. And so forth. We've got Pulse Litecoin there. We've got Hex here, Pulsechain Hex, and we've got eHex as well. They have pretty nice yields on here too with the old tokens here. Now, how long they'll last for is anyone's guess, but some people are planting their Hex there, no doubt. So that is looking the farms. They've got referrals and all sorts of other stuff, and you can check that out too. Let me have a quick look at some of these comments in the chat before we move on from that. Actually, we'll come back to the comments in a second. But that is Daytona Finance. So a bit of a wild card, but definitely one of the beefier liquidity pools, and you can see why, because they're incentivizing liquidity there, looking quite good. So very cool there. What else are we going to say? We've got Paul Pleb there down at 15%. We've got the swap token for Trust Swap from Jeff Kadakis is down at 19,000. So this is, I was expecting him to increase the liquidity, and that has not been done. Maybe he just finds that there's not enough demand, but that is where it is at the moment. So we'll see what Jeff Kadakis there brings out in terms of the liquidity. That is their chart at the moment. Pretty crazy looking chart, but that is it there at the moment. All right, so that's kind of cool. I think we've gone through those project teams. Let me know if there's any projects that you think I'm missing on Pulsechain that should be here. Now, obviously, I haven't got the Hex derivatives on here. These are kind of what I kind of see as the non-RH stuff in the sense. So yeah, that's kind of the play. So that is Daytona. We've got Pulse Punks. Pulse Punks is obviously, we're switching gear a little bit here to NFTs. But Pulse Punks has been doing pretty well. I think this might dominate in the space for a while, at least, if not for a long period of time. Pulse Punks, and yeah, doing pretty well. Updates there, 746 owners 10 hours ago, 5,757 minted so far. And of course, there's only 10,000, only going to be 10,000, and number one is still out there. And number three, I believe, too. Average 180 mints a day. So they're actually minting over pretty good. Now, this average can be misleading, of course, with averages. So, maybe all that happened at the beginning. Now they're averaging it out over days. Record 101 million Pulse sale. That was yesterday. We covered that. 2 sales over 100 million Pulse in 24 hours. That did happen. And 1 billion Pulse sales volume overall, so which is pretty good. And 55 million in the royalty pool, which gets pulled out every year after October. So that's coming up only a couple months away for the first one. 71 and 121 aliens have already been minted, apes and zombies. So pretty cool. And they've got 640 people on Telegram from the looks of it. So they are growing. Pulse Punks minted 5,555. So I thought they would retweet that. That's pretty cool. So I might retweet that for Pulse Punks. What else? Let's go in here. Team Pulsechain adoption. Grateful to have. Yeah, cool. Top 10 Pulse Punk sales. These are the top 10 Pulse Punk sales at the moment. You can see that they've had a couple at 100 million, 40 million, 35 million, 16 million, 50 million, 14 million, 30 million, 9.5. So these are the top 10 sales so far that have been minted. But the top ones, the most rarest ones, still not around. And we're going to have a quick look at that too. Let's go to the mint. Mint? Is that my home? No, mint here. There's mint here. Click in here. So mint. Let's just click the wallet up. Bam. Available. So there's only 3,916 NFTs available now out of 10,000. So it does cost you 1 million Pulse to mint them. And once you mint them, you can go and try and trade them. Like if you get a really rare one, you can try and trade that. Maybe once they've all gone, all 10,000 are gone, then even the less rare ones will be more valuable because obviously you can't mint anymore, but it's still in the minting phase. There's 3,916 to go. And in terms of the rarity, you can see how rare they are. And let's see where the number one is out. We got rank number one, but don't know if that's rank number one, rank number two, number 5. So it looks like we got number 2 and number 3. So yeah, Pulse Punk here, number there 9832. So what is that rank there? Minimum. And let's see what else we got there. Market. Let's go to the market. So we've got the market here. We've got the cheapest ones at the top here. You can sort by price, low to high, 600,000. So you can actually get some that are less than $1 million. So they would have spent $1 million on minting these, but they're selling them for less than $1 million, maybe because they're not so rare, right? So maybe that's the reason there. But there's a few up there, and you sort of slowly creep back up to $1 million until you get to the cost price. What else? Are we going to go to the high? Let's go to high to low. Look at that. So high to low. Pulse Punks, we got this one here, 800,000. Oh, that doesn't seem that high, too expensive to a bit. I'm not sure what's happening there. You might have to play around with this filter a little bit here. All right, let's go to the royalty. So how much is in there? 58.73 million in community royalty at the moment. And I've already got a share of 9,640 Pulse. Nice, ching ching. All right, we've got 116 days and 15 hours to go until that people get paid out. So if you're holding a Pulse Punk NFT, you're going to get share of the big pool there, which is kind of cool. The more you own, the better it is, I guess. All right, that is pretty cool. Pulse Punks. I'll post that in the chat there in case you want to check that out in your own time. All right. Let's jump down into some of these comments. It looks like number 1 was minted since yesterday. Some lucky person since yesterday. Maybe they watched this live stream and they went and minted it. And they got that number 1 spot. Maybe that happened. You just never know. You just never know. Brazolji says using hardware wallet with internet money is really great experience, says Brazolji. So there's a good shout out from Briz. Generous says also have to have time in the internet money wallet to earn rewards. Okay. So it needs to be in the actual internet money wallet account. Okay. What else there? Lacuna says, has someone checked Daytona Finance, Tony? Well, we just talked about it, but I don't know whether I haven't seen if the Pulse Police have checked the contract or not. The worst thing I'd hate is for someone to go into a sort of a DEX or a pancake swap fork or whatever and put their stuff in there and then get rugged. So that's why I say you need to check, do the check on there. What is that? I need a black. Oh, right. Truth Toshi says, are there any legitimate projects that did airdrops to sacrifice wallets any coins. Well, we have a chat group in our Discord, which is called Airdrop, so you can check that. Those are the only ones I know so far. But yeah, the kittens one, there is a kitten airdrop. So check out our Discord airdrops. That's the ones that I'm aware of so far. And anybody can let me know if I'm missing any. But those are the ones we're aware of. I need a black and white pussy kitty, says Briz, with a 20% yield as well. I bought more EHEX, says Hexforce1. Nice. Very, very smart. Seems like the Pulse Kitten project is purring along. Yes. Man. All of that. Crypto King says, I did 22-year stake on Texan a week ago. Wow, that's amazing. Yes, Daytona, I'm making a lot of APR and almost all the pools there. The dev started Tron Dash. Okay. Do you know if it's been confirmed by Pulse Police or anything like that? Like, has there been any? Have you looked at the contract? Let us know, Crypto King. Not cleared on Pulse Police for Daytona Finance. They say their contract is not verified, so they cannot check it. Okay, good info. Thanks, Pagona. Don't you love the community? That's what the community is about, man. Community sharing and caring with the old info there. The old alpha drops in the chat. I stepped away from a moment. Did you talk about the coast? Fear not. Yes, I did, Sandy Beach. While you were away. I waited till you were away so that you would we could talk about it. Number one was minted for the for Pulse Punks. Yep, which is kind of cool. Kind of cool on the Pulse Punks. But yeah, you can still mint 3,908 are left. And it does appear that the rarity that number 3 is still there. Let's go to play. Yeah, number 3 and number 4 are still there. Look, there's a gap. Rank 1, 2, 3, and 4. So yesterday there was only rank number 2, but there's definitely rank number 1 in there. They're asking for 1 billion. Are they kidding? That 1 billion they're after. They're asking for 1 billion on the price. Oh well, let's see if anyone pays that in the future. That'd be quite something. But yeah, I must say it does look kind of cool. The picture does kind of look kind of cool, relatively speaking. Although I do think people will start. I kind of like this one here with the orange here. I kind of like that one. But yeah, people will be hunting those based on the looks there. If you're really into these things, maybe you have a good sense of what gets valued up. But there's Pulse Punks. Right, there's Pulse Punks. Now we're going to talk about BNB Pot next. Before we do that, though, let's get into the chats. Pulse 3D clown of strong hands. I did 75% on my Pulse. I just got out a few hours ago. Okay, cool. Let me jump through some of that. Prasadi says, dang, $80 to mint right now. Yeah, you got to think about it. It's not just 1 million Pulse, but what is the price of that Pulse? And $80, yeah. So there we are. Briz got it on the money. That's actually pretty cheap to NFTs on each chain, though, right? You can pay thousands of dollars just for the gas fees sometimes on those NFT mints on Ethereum. Spiritual Warfare says, what do you think of Tetra demo came out last week? I haven't really followed it that much, but I will try and look that one up there again. Yeah, I think that aren't they doing strategies on there? I think that's the one they do, strategies. Yeah, so I might talk about that maybe tomorrow, maybe. Pulse okay for staking earn more Pulse. Let me just jump through some of those. We've got Charities says, I got airdrop Pulse kittens. I have some tokens, haven't looked into what to do with them. Right. Well, you can check out the DApp there. I think you can issue yourself some yield doing that. Sandy Rich says, I think I sold my Pulse kittens a while back. Yeah, a lot of people probably sold them straight off the bat, not thinking about what they could do in terms of yield. But it's a pretty small liquidity pool, which is, that's got to change. It's only 4,000 in there. Not sure, just my info from speaking with other community about Daytona dev can't confirm 100% right. Okay, good. So yeah, we haven't had 100% confirmation on Daytona Finance, but it's just offering good yield. I just wouldn't want anybody to put their stuff in a contract that had some sort of ruggable feature or anything like that. Yeah, it looks okay, but you just never know, right? So General says, is Tetra still doing an airdrop? Yeah, I thought they might be, but I haven't heard anything about that. Isn't it Crypto Coffee? Hasn't he covered that, Tetra? Somebody like that covered Tetra. I just faintly remember that. All right, so that is Pulse Punks, and I've left it on that screen for some period of time. So there we are. All right, so that is kind of cool. Now we're going to talk about BNB Pot. I've got to open up the update. So PSI, one of our community members in our Discord, gave us an update around BNB Pot. So this is only on a BNB chain at the moment, but we're going to talk about when they're going to be going on Pulsechain. They're going to be doing 5 EVM chains, but they're still rolling out their products. It is the world's first peer-to-peer crypto casino, and it is very difficult to achieve. So it's not an easy thing to execute, and the team has taken longer to get the products out, but they are slowly, one by one, the games is coming out, they are slowly achieving this milestone. And of course, Jacob, the dev for Pulse of BNB Pot, was incredible during the Pulsechain launch. Launched obviously the Pulse Faucet and gave away 125 million Pulse to people to onboard them until we could get some native Pulsechain bridges, which we now have. Jack was amazing with that. Obviously, he also provided the PLS IOU and the PulseX IOU liquidity pools before Pulsechain launched, in case people wanted to get access to it that early. Now, obviously, the price people paid was that's just the subject of markets, but you just never knew where it was going to go. Now, let's get into the update here. So this was provided by a PSI in our chat. You can see this under new tokens. If you go to our Discord under new tokens, he's added it in on the 14th of June. BNB Pot updated roadmap from Jacob. Since many of you have been asking, here is our internal roadmap. So if you're staking BNBP, this is the roadmap that is currently done so far. So these are the items that have been ticked off. So jackpot game. So jackpot game has been ticked off. That's the first one. You can see at the top left there. That is obviously out and about. The staking, of course, you can stake. You can go to the stake and stake your BNBP. On-site swap, you can go to the swap and you can swap. So that is there, obviously, between BNB and BNBP. The stats section, you've got the stats page, which is here, all stats. So that is up and running. So that's been up for a while, these ones. What else we got there? I'm going to close down that. We got the stats page with all the details, how many people have had airdrops and burns and things like that, and how many people are staking. Then you've had roulette version 1. So we go to the second game that launched, which is roulette version 1. You can see all the different pools that you can do. We'll just, we'll choose BNB pool, for example. And that was version 1, where you could just play by yourself. But then they decided to do version 2. And version 2 means that you could play with other people at the same time. So you all put down your bets, just like you would in a real casino, and play that around. So I can see some of the history there. With that, what else there? Then Powerball. So this is the most recent one, of course, as the third game. Powerball got launched, and this one looks pretty cool. So looking good there. Top five Powerball prizes been up in the several $1,000s there. BNBP, SGO, Vault, BNBP, and Vault there. So these other ones, the SGO and the Vault, they are strategic partners, which is pretty awesome. And this was a master play by the BNB team to move into partnerships. So Powerball and Powerball partnerships, those are all ticked off. So that's what's been done on the roadmap so far. So what is coming up? Let's actually quickly go into one of these so you can see the layout of a Powerball. That's the Powerball. You can see all the balls in there. I guess they spin around. And you can see the players that are in there to try and win that. Current one is $536. There is 60 minutes to go on this one. And this is one of the partnerships that they've got, which is really cool. Seems to be pretty popular. So nice on that. These partnerships adding to value. So they're adding rewards to the pool there for the BNBP holders, which is kind of cool. Whereas BNBP is worth 88 cents at the moment. So that is pretty much around the sacrifice price. So the BNBP is around sacrifice price at the moment. So what's coming up? Fortune Wheel. So Fortune Wheel is coming up. The fourth game is coming up. And I think this is exciting. This is my favorite, actually, Fortune Wheel. Now, I like Powerball, but Fortune Wheel is kind of my thing. I don't know why. I just like the thing. So that's coming up. It's in progress, and 3 to 5 days away, apparently. 3 to 5 days away, and they will have the fourth game launched, Fortune Wheel. What's coming up after that? So that is currently in progress. Now, in the future, now we're moving to the future now, price calls. So They're going to have price calls come up. You can see that's coming up. So waiting for that. That's going to come next. Roulette version 3. So they're going to be doing a version 3 of Roulette. So I'm not sure what's in that, but the V3 of Roulette. They're going to have a new innovative mystery game coming up. So it's not even on the list here. That is coming up, new mystery game. They're going to have a new chain launch. And what's the chain? You guessed it, Pulsechain. So Pulsechain is going to be launching. They're going to have 2 chains then. They'll be launching on Pulsechain. And so that's going to be a lot of fun. Now, obviously, people that sacrifice for BNB, they will get their tokens issued on all 5 chains, EVM chains. So Pulsechain being the second one. So that's going to be cool to see that. Now, this was the first sacrifice project to launch. Obviously, it launched on BNB first, but it did a 31x. So we'll see what it does on Pulsechain as well. It's going to be fun to see. Then they've got sports betting coming up. So you can see sports betting is known. That sports betting is coming up after that. Then they're going to have a new referral system. Oh, smart. That's smart. So a new referral system is coming up there. Now, obviously, they had a launch incentive of 100,000, I think it was, BNB, which is about 10% of the market. Now, they're going to be doing a new referral program coming up too. So that's going to be good. Smart. They're going to be doing a rebrand. So they're going to be rebranding also. Then they're going to be doing a marketing campaign. So not only are they having these Powerball partnerships, which are strategic ways of getting volume, because you just want volume to come on, they're also going to be doing a marketing campaign coming up. So that's more volume. So that's kind of cool. Now, obviously, they've got more games coming up after that. And then, of course, they're going to have another new chain launch, which will be Arbitrum. So they've been launching Arbitrum. So those are currently the roadmap that they've got planned. So pretty cool there. You can find all those details in the new tokens chat there as well. So very cool. I think that's pretty neat. I think that's all I was going to say about that. Yeah, I think that was pretty much it on there. Just jumping through there. So that is pretty much it on for BNB. So cool. Very exciting. And of course, Powerball is the latest game. They've also got this other partnership they've launched here as well. The Vault partnership. So they've got Vault partnership there. That's got $37 in at the moment. So it's got people into it. But definitely the new one there, the SGO partnership. So there's another platform that is currently got $537 on it. That looks like it's ticking along pretty nicely there on the market. Nice. All right. That is BNB Pot, folks. We're going to get into the Hex daily stats, though. We've got waiting for day 1290. That should be out soon, no doubts. But we will wait and see. Just got to close out of the Discord here. Cool. We're up to here on the chat. So let me just jump up here. Where do we go up to? Brennan says Jacob made bank on the PLS IOU. Smart play. Yeah, well, it was a 23x on the pulse price. Yeah, SAC price. So yeah, very good move. Bro, how is BNB under $1? I don't know, Briz. People are just marking it at that price. We'll see whether the roadmap can lift it up over time. That's for sure. Building the BNB site is an amazing achievement. Hope they have success. The work behind this would have been phenomenal. I know. It's probably the most complicated, most clever part of all the crypto that we've seen. But to execute it is actually very difficult. But they are moving forward. They are moving the products. We can see that they have been making progress. So yeah, getting the volume on there with the partnerships and with the referral program and with the marketing, those 3 things hopefully will lift the volume. And as Briz say, hopefully that will get repriced in to the BNB price there. Now, also don't forget this burning mechanism. So the total supply of BNB is going down on the BNB chain over time, but we want to get more volume, so that accelerates, and of course you get the price lifting back up. So we're watching that, moving ahead with that roadmap. All right, I think that we're waiting for day 1290 to come off the press. We're up to almost an hour on the live stream, so not doing too bad there. Jumping through here, waiting for that stats to come out. Maybe it's going to be delayed today. It should have been out already, half an hour. So cool. Let's go quickly check Richard Hart and see what he's got to say. Maybe he's got something out at the moment because he has been pretty quiet over the last 24 hours. Yeah, no update since this last one about the fees. I know that on the replies, he replied to somebody about something, but it wasn't really much update there for us. All right, let's get back into the Pulsechain prices, and we might sit on there for a little bit while we wait for the Hex daily stats to come out. And that is our prices at the moment. DCA picking up some deals. Let's end the poll at the moment. Since we're an hour into the live show, let's finish that. We got 69 votes. Let's see what the results are, ladies and gentlemen. Are you buying at the moment with these lower prices? We got 68% said yes. So that's almost 70%. Oh, that's pretty cool. Or 2/3 of people, I guess. No, 18% at the moment, and 13% maybe. So there we are. So almost 4 out of 5 people will or may be buying at these low prices, accumulating. Because typically we know that after launches, that's typically the best time is in the months afterwards, and particularly even up to say 18 months, depending on what's happening in the market. All right, we haven't got the Hex stats. Still waiting for day 1290 to come off the press. We're on day 1291 at the moment. We just started that, so we're just waiting for that to update. But there is the price at the moment. We've got Pulse at 0.0788. We've got Pulsechains at 0.0307, and we've got incentive token there at 138,383 Pulse per incentive token, and we've got Hex at the moment relatively holding up versus the others. They're at 1.04 cents on Pulse, and combined with eHex is 0.173 at the moment on the ETH. Combined is 1.73 cents. So interesting. Let me just jump over to pull up these prices here. Let me just go to watch page. Actually, I don't need to go watch page. Actually, do I need to go watch page? We're going up here. Top ERC 20s. We're going to have a look at those, see how they're performing. These are top PRC 20s. We've got, looks like SHIB's doing okay. SHIB's doing okay. Got Uni here as well. Got Link. I got Wrap Bitcoin. It's a SHIB here at the moment, so quick look at that. 43k volume. That's actually ticking up okay. That's looking interesting, isn't it? The SHIB price there. Be interesting to see that play up. What else we got going on there? Uni. Let's look at Uni at the moment. These are the top PRC ERC 20s on Pulsechain. That's looking pretty similar chart. The Uni and the SHIB there looking pretty similar. What do you guys think? It's got 13k liquidity, so it's not a ton of liquidity in there. That's interesting. So like the Link chart there, which was a Link Pulse. We've got Link Pulse V1. This is in the V1 pool. That is not quite looking as peppy as SHIB is at the moment, but 0.2969 there at the moment on the pool. 37k liquidity. So there's a lot of stuff to work. Now, will these type of farms, will these type of tokens get any farms coming up? These are sort of the ones that we might think that may get some farms. Let me know also in the Discord if you think I should add some others on here. But these are the ones that we're highlighting at the moment. Obviously, we've got a Bitcoin, right? We've got Wrap Bitcoin Farm, Pulse, and we've got V1. There's got 221,000 liquidity in this particular pair. So yeah, this is the Pulse version, I believe too. I have to double check, but I think that is the Pulse version. I need to check that. Didn't ask that question when I put there, but that is it. We've got Wrapped ETH as well. This is on V2. I guess that one there can't be the right one because the liquidities are so low. So I'm going to have to update this, but these are definitely the SHIB and the Uni ones. All right, what else we got going on there? Pulsex V2 memes. Make the memes yet? Oh, I hardly put any memes in here. Now, Ben. I was going to talk about Ben. So apparently, Ben, what was it? BitBoy was on Corey Costa's channel, so another YouTuber out there. He apparently went on live stream and got pumped or something all the way up. So this was actually quite a big discount to the Ethereum price, right? So there we are. But now it's got pumped and dumped. Now there's not much liquidity in this particular Ben pair. Ben Pulse, $1,700. So yeah, it was up for 552% though on what it was before. So we'll see how that goes on the old Ben. Let us know how you feel about that. Here we got Pepe Lorian as well. So Pulse Lorian, they launched this Pepe Lorian, and that's got hardly any, $1,300. So these are also tiny. These little pools. It's not even worth talking about, is it? What else? I think that's kind of it on there. Pulsechain. Actually, I might just go back to the pools here. We're up to an hour and 5 minutes. Let's go to the watch list there and pull that back in. Let's go pull that one up, pull that one up, pull that one up, and pull that one up. All right. So we got the pulse price at the moment. That's the trend. That is the trend at the stage. So we're still in this downtrend here. And so still trying to find that price discovery. Where are we gonna find the actual bottom there? Pulsechains also looking pretty similar as well. Where we're going to find that bottom, still in price discovery, and of course incentive there. The ratio to pulse is just trying to stay at this level at the moment, 138,000 pulse per incentive, and this is kind of a critical mark here based on my chart, 61.8 on Fibonacci. So we're trying to hold that sort of zone at the moment. So going to be pretty important. What else there? And Hex at the moment is at 1.044 cents. So also looking pretty similar. Obviously all bonded together. So fun times. All right, looks like we got day 1290 hot off the press. So there we are. We had a look at a few others tokens. Let's look at Hex on Ethereum. So we've got the price at 0.0688 is the snapshot, down 9% on the ETH chain. We've got 6.682 Hex per T-share is the payout. So another good day in the office. A dot day on the share rate, no change to the share rate in Hex. The APY looking very, very nice there, around 40%, which is cool. We've got the Hex in the pool, 229 million Hex in the pool, $237,000 or $234,000. And we've got 92 ETH in the pool there as well. The ownership pool down 8,500 T-shares. We're sitting at just under 9.9. We actually broke the 9.9 million. Oh, wow. We're at 9,899,834. Amazing. So if you got T-shares, you're becoming a more exclusive club from that point of view. The share rate's only going to go up and to the right as well. Lock percentage of coins, 9.3% of Hex is locked at the moment. Close to 3 million Hex penalties. So really another great day in the office. So we're still getting this volatility and the price discovery phase of Hex. And that's continuing. What else there? The growth, we got 4 liquid holders to 330,009. We're up 24 miners. So this is good news. This is a good sign. I like this. These signs good. Want to keep that, get maybe a week of this going. That'd be quite a good sign. We're at 120,472. Total holders up 135 to 572,845. So that's a big number there. Let's look at Pulsechain. The Pulsechain Hex. We've got the price at 0.1043. Down 5.2% at the moment. Given all these price decreases, getting a lot cheaper. We got the payout per T-share today, absolutely phenomenal. Look at that, 6.814. So that's a big jump in the T-share there on Pulsechain. No change in the share rates. The APY, they're better than Ethereum today, which is normally not the case lately. But it's better today, 40.49%. That's pretty cool. We'll jump through that. T-shares down a massive 22,484 today. We're sitting at 9,931,000. So obviously Hex there has just dropped below 9.9 million. And that is about a 32,000 difference there in the T-shares. Looking to the stake percentages, 9.4% of Hex is staked on Pulsechain. And the penalties today, huge day on there. So it made the Ethereum Hex look, it was 2.5 million, wasn't it? So we're 6 million here on Pulsechain. And looking at the numbers, growth in liquid holders up 36. Growth in T-share miners up 36. So T-share miners going pretty well on the Pulsechain. And of course, this is pre the highest of stakes. We're up 121,498. And we're up 131 holders to 567,965. So those are the results today for day 1290. And of course, now we're on day 1291. And we're already, got nice little 6.5 Hex per T-share on both chains, which is not bad, with a combined price of 1.7 cents. So it's pretty cool. Now, I was going to go have a quick look at the highest of stakes. So let me pull that up. I wanted to talk about this yesterday, but I never got to it. So the highest of stakes, around 10 minutes. So we're not doing too badly here. So these were kind of the last updates that we had, 20th of May. Man, it's some time ago. But we are expecting some news about this, apparently, from Kinetics and RG3 and Toby One or something. So hopefully we'll get that sooner than later, because this could be a huge, huge deal. So we're waiting patiently for that. All right, let us know in the chat there if you've heard anything about that whatsoever. That'd be cool. All right, let's leave it on the prices. And man, that is it there. Those are the prices that we have. Let me jump through some of this. Gary J says, when do you think RH is going to do a live stream? No one knows, Gary. I have some thoughts about it. Yeah, we will see. I still think it's a little while away yet for RH to do something. So yeah, obviously the prices are at the moment. He's probably not going to do one at the moment. So obviously maybe when the prices get to a certain point and certain milestones have been reached, then he'll probably do a live stream if he's still going to be doing live streams. And so yeah, certainly he's all about timing, right? So he will try and time if he does a live stream. RH isn't coming out for a while. He knows he's going to catch a lot of fire from upset people. Yeah. So given the way I think, because if you think about it, he's got with Pulsechain, he's got the ultimate chance to demonstrate his ability to with the tokenomics, and he's got lots of tools to do that. So yeah, just watch the space. We're just early days, day 33, day 34, aren't we? Yeah, day 34. So still early days. So I'll just be patient with that. He's going to go for maximum effect, I'm sure, when he does do it. Geni, what's it? Geni staking like Hex on Pulsechain, also like ETH, BSC, AVAX, and Matic. What happened to the documentary? I thought Rack and Rochelle was planning to launch something too. What happened? Yeah. So Rack and Rochelle was going to launch a centralized exchange, a listing site, and on-ramp, a fiat on-ramp, off-ramp. And that was, as we understood, was going to be based in Saudi Arabia. And of course, targeting essentially like oil money people. So that would have been massive. So we haven't heard anything from him. He kind of went quiet when we saw a lot of regulatory investigations in the markets. So maybe he just want to keep his head down on there. I'm not sure. We will see. Maybe he'll still be coming out with those products, and maybe he still will be coming out with them. Now, they were well progressed. So if we look at Rack and Rochelle, they were well progressed, those products. So if we go to Rack and Rochelle's Twitter, they were pretty well progressed last time we saw them. This was November last year, so it's been a little while since then. But we had a roadmap on here. Let me scroll down. I'm sure it's down here somewhere. Hopefully I didn't do this last time because now they did launch their EB control, so that was their fourth one. They had 4 things, EB control, and he did put a request out for any other ideas that people thought were good. But EB control is out already, so this is by Everything Blockchain, and this is government level security. But this has been out for a while on the ETH chain, I believe. And this was the EB exchange. So this was the progress. So when was this? This was August last year. So August last year, June, July, August. So this is 10 months ago. And this was the update that they had. They were actually pretty well advanced. So they had the build API. That was 100% done. They had backend services 57% done. The trading portal, the admin portal were all 80% done at this stage. So they were pretty well advanced. Portal wallets, hot and cold. They had 67% done. ICO minting, 75%. EVM, authentication. So, yeah, I don't know where this is all at the stage. They had AML and KYC at 88% done. UI, UX, customization, 100%. Order transaction, 100%. Clearing at 75%. So they really were pretty well progressed on that. So, yeah, but he's been pretty quiet since that time. So that we'll just have to wait and see whether he still is progressing that. With their partnership with Everything Blockchain. The last updates we had were November, where he was, he talked about their crypto exchange user interface. So that was August, September, October, November. That was the last update. User interface designer needed for crypto exchange, all interested parties. So he had that. We haven't really heard much since then. So pretty much at the moment. All right. Yeah. So sort of like when this stuff started coming out here. ACC and things. So we'll see. We'll see what he does there with his coming out in a few months or whatever. All right. Good question though. Where else there? Derek says, God bless you, Superman. Forget the Lambos. We're going to change lives in Jesus' name and for his glory. Amen to that, Derek. Right. Did peeps know that PLS would dip? Didn't people's knows? Yeah, well, we did talk about that scenario, so no problem there. Great show, Superman. I'm going to bed. It's 7:45 a.m. here. You're going to bed at 7:45. That's funny, man. Sleep well. Rest up. Rest up. That's all we can say. All right. We're an hour and 15 minutes, so that's kind of the maximum period I like to live stream these days. Up and to the right, DCA. The opportunity is here and never fear. And, of course, looking good. All right. Yeah, typically you want to keep DCA and just picking up these big volumes with the price discounts. All right. What else? I think we're going to wrap up there. Let's play out some music on the way out because you know we like to rock and roll. Where else here? Let's get into that. Bam, bam. All right. Take care, everybody. Peace out. Bye for now.
Here in my $3,000 Valentino Rockstud purse, my $3,000 Prada jacket, $2,000 Prada shirt, $2,000 or $3,000 Prada pants, Prada glasses, Prada hat, Prada bracelet, and it's all Prada, 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 Prada shirt, Prada hat, Prada glasses, Prada pants, and it's all nylon, so the haters' tears fall right off. Product, 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 Prada shirt, Prada hat, Prada glasses, Prada pants, and it's all nylon, so the haters' tears fall right off.
Lil Bubble, let me ride that rocket.
Yeah.